YouTube, you already know Big Flaco was a convict's perspective. Now, you already know what time it is coming directly from the county jail. Man, with that positive energy, smashing, dashing, sliding on through, hit that like button, comment, do all those things to help support your boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. Now, throughout my political career in California, and what I mean by that as far as prison political career, I always viewed myself as a protector, a defender of the people. And to this day, the true ideologies of the Raza Norteña, I still believe in. But within the hierarchy structure of it, it becomes all about the money. But all the positive things, by elevating your people's worth, being treated equally, striving for equal justice, unity, canalismo, respect, being a better human being, being a professional, in everything that I do or did, I take pride in that. Now, I've always took pride in not allowing one to be used, manipulated, or played, especially if they're out, but anybody in general. I'm not going to watch a helpless individual just get bullied either. I've always been one of those ones that believed in standing forth for anybody that is victim to any type of oppression or abuse, and I've always maintained that in everything I do. There's nothing worse than experiencing people that take advantage of others because maybe they have a mental hang-up, or their brain is fried on drugs, or maybe they're naive and young and don't know any better. I just can't stand people who will thrive upon individuals that can't defend themselves or are incapable of understanding it, Now, there's different types of people when you're in jail and prison, okay? And what I mean by that, you got people who are predators that just take advantage of. They're the vultures that come out. And whenever they see individuals that maybe have mental issues, or you maybe have a lack of understanding, or they're fresh, they're a newcomer, you see people trying to take advantage. Prison is one of those environments where you see people who just are the worst of the worst, the dope deep mentality, the old school convicts who try to manipulate the youngsters and try to utilize them. And I've always been one of those ones, wherever I've been, I've shut it down. And to this day, even in my plight today and the struggles that I'm going through, I'm going through some serious struggles right now with the criminal, my criminals getting my justice in court currently, guys. I really am, but I still hold on to certain morals. I still hold on to certain respect and compass that I have to follow no matter where I'm at. There's just certain things that I can't accept. And I've always been a leader everywhere I've been. No matter where I may be or who's there, I'm always going to step to the forefront if I see something that isn't right. Now, I'm going to get into a story now a little bit. And it kind of circles around this, but before I get to this story, I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples of where I'm going. I remember there was a homeboy named Blinky, who lived on the fourth floor from Gilroy, and he was programmed as a homeboy for a long time, but pretty much, he was pretty much fried. His brain was pretty much done. He just wasn't there anymore. And, we used to give him coffee. We used to look after him. We used to take care of him as best we can, give him food and whatnot. And we didn't put him on the B&L. We didn't have any expectations of him to follow the HHPs because mentally where he was at today and all the stuff that he'd been through in his life, he just wasn't capable of living up to that program. And as long as he didn't pose a threat, we allowed him to function. Now, there's been those that have fallen in that category before, and I've always been the ones that said that, they are allowed to stay because they're not a threat, and we're supposed to protect them and uphold them and defend them. That's what we're all about. This is what the Ghost is about. This is what the Lucha is about, and this is what I'm about. All that comes first before money. Now, as times have changed, right, nowadays you have people who are more about the money. They're more about, capitalizing or taking advantage of people. And I'm not going to change who I've always been just because that's the way people flow nowadays, or that's the way people wiggle. Doesn't mean I'm always going to stick out my neck for people that don't need me to stick out my neck for, but there comes a time and place that maybe I will. And recently I have. And I'm going to talk about that because it's a kind of an interesting story, and it's kind of one of those positive stories that maybe you see that even though I'm in an environment to where, there's convicts, there's criminals, there's people that are with the shit, there's everything here. I'm on maximum security, population. But I'm still living up to the same moral compass that I've always had. And I'm still willing to step up to the plate. Now, there was an individual that had came in here. Okay, currently, there's me and there's about 4 shop sellers that are currently here. One from Ventura, one from Fontana, one from Watts, and a new one that just got here from 18th Street. Okay, the last 12, I think, from Lancaster. One of those yards are New Folsom, I believe, right? And whenever anybody comes, especially from California, right, whether they're Sureño or Daniel, I'm going to sit there and embrace them. I'm going to give them whatever they have coming. I'm offering them a Bible, and I'm going to offer them my moral support and show them I get down how I get down as an individual, as a man. But one about where you're from, what your status is, what your ranking is, that's not important here. We're all visitors, right? But I'm still going to treat them with the same dignity and respect that I've always been taught. And what I noticed in this individual, that just got here from 18th Street, is the decisions and choices that he was making. Like he was, buying food boxes real quick and spending too much money, and he got at me the other day about, hey, can you give me a half bag of coffee? I'll give you 2 bags of coffee tomorrow when I get my store. I'm like, bro, why are you doing that? A bag of coffee costs $7. You're going to give me $14 for $3 worth of coffee. And I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got him about it right first time, but I didn't know if he was BS about his money. I didn't know. He was all over the place, and you could tell that maybe there's a little bit of mental problems there. Like, not just mental, but from using drugs. You can tell the effects. But just like when he came here, he said that, hey, I may be a little crazy, but I'm a good dude. That's the first thing he told us, seller. And he seems like a genuine good dude. He's a Southsider from 18th Street, and I chop it up with him a lot. Okay? And, the store comes, I see him pay all these people out, and they get at me in the bank, and he asks me, he goes, hey, Fox. I go, hey, what's up? He goes, do you have any honey buns? I'm hungry. He goes, I'll give you a bag of coffee for a honey bun. Now, granted, the honey bun's only $2. A bag of coffee is $6 something. And I had to sit there and say, hey, bro, like, hold on. You're collecting all your stuff, man. People are taking advantage of that, bro. I get it that you want to eat now. I get it. Sometimes you have to maybe pay for what you get. But I'm not going to let nobody here take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? This is before he really even knew that I was from up north. You know what I'm saying? So when the drawers popped open, I grabbed the other homeboy from down south. I said, hey, that I talked to, me and him are always praying together, and we're always doing a Christian prayer together and stuff like that. And the interesting thing is this individual, I'm talking about, I just prayed from the day before, and it was the first time I actually did a prayer circle when I was praying for a Southsider. I was actually, in a circle, and he had some issues, and he brought it forth to us, and we prayed about it. So I get up the other homeboy today, man, this is what's going on. I go, people are taking it. I go, I don't want people to take advantage of them. Bam, me and the homeboy went over there and we got at him. And said, and basically let him know, look, don't be giving your stuff away. Don't be offering these deals, because basically there's people in here that are going to prey up on that. Not everybody's going to have that same attitude. Well, yeah, he's gone, so don't take advantage of him. You're going to have people around here that are going to fucking eat that up all day. And me knowing better and me representing what I've always represented, I can't change that. I can't sit there and allow to see someone and get victimized, whether they're allowed it or not. When I know that maybe they have a little bit of issues, well, I know maybe they've done a little bit too much drugs, and you see the effects of it. Just because they're affected and they're what we would normally call a little bit J-caddish, doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and say that's okay. If I wouldn't stand forth for it back then, why should I stand forth for it now? And I proceeded to address it. And I even told him, I even went and gave homeboy a honey bun. I said, look, bro, here's a honey bun. You know what I'm saying? Here's one for me for free. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck the shit no more. Don't be doing no more deals. If not, give it one of us. We'll help you. As a matter of fact, why don't you give your copy to homeboy right here, the other Southsider, right? So he can fucking make sure that you don't just drink it all up because you're wasting your stuff. And see, when I reflected on this afterwards, I was thinking, I was like, just because I'm trying to walk a different walk in life, right, doesn't mean that those same qualities that have always been there in being a soldado, even a soldado, right, as mono, now, all the things I was involved in does not mean that I have to change who I am in certain things still today. They still have good tendencies from time to time. And this is one of them where, someone who traditionally would be considered an opposition, who traditionally would be a foe, yeah, if he comes through, I'd look out for him, here's a paquete. But it was the first time where I actually stood forth for someone that wasn't from my collective, wasn't from my group. And it felt good to do so. And it kind of inspires me to do that for anybody that's ever being taken advantage of, or anybody that, you don't see that no more as far as with the new breed now. Whether you're back home in California or you're here in Arizona, you're in other states, you don't see that kind of rhythm to protect your people, the ones that can't protect themselves. And I've always been against that bullying shit. I've always been the one that's ready to go to the forefront to establish something and push back anybody that wants to take advantage or inflict any type of aggression on anybody. It's not going to ever happen. And even though I'm walking the walk that I walk today, and I really truly am trying to walk a spiritual path, and I have spiritual tests every day. And this was a spiritual test, you know? It almost at the point to where, okay, you know, do I just avoid it? It's not my problem. It's not my issue. It's his problem. That wouldn't sit right with me being who I am. I'm never going to change for nobody who the fuck I really am, because that person who I really am is not a bad person. He's the one that's going to protect people. He's the one that's going to go to the forefront. And that's who I've always been since that day one when I first started doing time. And I'm not going to change for nobody. With that said, what's Flaco from a company's perspective, I'm out.